Video lesson here. This is TRCH on Monday of this last week, and this was a leading gapper, and it had many entries, many opportunities to get in, even if you weren't in pre-market. It was up massively from threes, went up fours. It was just a leading gapper with insane volume, as you can see straight out of the gate. Oh my god. Give me a second here. Leading gapper straight out of the gate. Where are we? Sorry. Either way, this thing's just making higher highs. Pushing, pushing, pushing. And I thought it would be good to do a trade lesson on it, because this is a beautiful chart and there are many opportunities to get in and out of this thing cleanly and efficiently. So yeah, let's just get into it. Let's pretend like we were just waking up. It's like 6 a.m. whatever it is, and you're seeing this thing and you're like, oh my god, this thing's got a ton of volume, chat rooms are talking about it. Let's see if we can get into it myself. So first thing that I would do, this is just how I trade, and like you can trade, there's many different ways to trade. You can dip buy, you can buy resistances, you can do all these different things. People see different things throughout the day, and you can't trade all of them. I'll just say that. If you try to trade exactly like someone else, if someone calls out getting in at 262 or something, you're now submissive to their trading style. And if they don't give you an exit, it'll discombobulate your entire strategy. So my rule of thumb for this kind of thing is trade your own strategy, respect the tickers that professionals are following, meaning that if they call out a ticker, don't necessarily get in exactly when they get in. Just understand that professionals that are skilled and experienced are looking at these stocks and trading them, meaning that most likely many other people are, and you have a higher probability of success. And then it's very specifically, enter at your own point of interest. Okay, everyone trades differently. I've already talked about this. And respect the trend line. This is very important as well, because if you're in a trade and you don't know why you're in, take a look at the trend line and make sure that it's holding its trend line. If it's an uptrend, this is in a clear uptrend all day. Okay, so here we are, 6 a.m. Maybe we're zoomed in a little bit more. Why does it keep doing that? We're zoomed in. Like, okay, cool. It made crazy higher highs. So we'll just draw a trend line here. Let's see. That looks about right. Right, for early morning, that looks like that's kind of a zone. All right, so we'll draw our trend line there. Let's say it's about 6 a.m. We're using the 2-minute. I like to use the 2-minute, preferably. Wait, are we on this right day? It's the 17th. No, it's the 16th. Maybe I was on the. What the fuck? Wait, hold on. Tripping right now? Hamel, camel, what the actual fuck? Camel. Okay, this is fucked. Give me a second here. Yeah, we're on the right day. Alright. Here we go. Draw our lower trend line. Boom, it pops up, it comes back down, it fades a little bit. But it shows strong volume, low volume pullbacks. Look down here, super low volume pullbacks. It's very bullish. So we decided to draw a line in place. Lower trend line. Keep an eye on the lower trend line. So many people might have been like, okay, it's coming back down to this lower trend line. I want to get a dip buy in. So you could potentially scalp right here. You see this hammer candle get pushed back up. It's coming down to this range and gets pushed back up massively. Maybe you want to buy a couple in here. Me personally, I'm going to wait until this breaks this upper trend line or this upper resistance line that I just drew out. So as you see it ramping on volume down here, see how it compresses in volume. Before every single move, the volume will always compress down in here. So boom, breaks above that high. Now I'm in at like 420s, 415s area. Boom, pops up to 442. Price target would have been this previous high, so we'll draw those lines in. And you're scaling out here. And see, it didn't get much higher than that. We see some resistance down in here. Pops back down. Now we're like, okay, well, it came back down. It tried to push through. Couldn't do it. And now it pulls back on lower volume again, but we still want to see good volume throughout here. So it's not going to go completely empty, but it was smaller than before. Now we're going to look for a respectable line off of VWAP, which also interacts with our previous resistance line. Very important. So down here, if you miss the first one, you can get a dip entry right here off of VWAP and off of that resistance line. Very bullish. So you're in at 415s, 416s. If this pushes up, you could even get it in as late as 420s. And boom, we get buyers straight back in. And then if you're wanting to, you can scale out right here at this previous high. Okay, cool. I got my 20 cents. I'm good. Scale out right here. Take profits, and then maybe you're taking profits up in here. And this is very healthy. It keeps moving back down, and now it kind of fades off. You want to try to see if it can hold the support. If you're pretty confident, you could even try to get this first pullback down here. If you're entering right there at 435, it pops back up 20 cents, and you're just selling out in here. Now it's continuing its downtrend right here. Now at this point, like if this breaks below this line, now I'm going to be looking to draw in a resistance line off of here. Trying to look for a wedge break. So see how you can draw it from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. You want to see that it can break that line. Now, as it does that, it comes down and it continues to go lower. And so what are we looking at? We're looking for a possible dip buy or reversal off of any kind of technical analysis that we have here. And we see now the lower trend line that we drew at the beginning comes into play, and it usually always does on these leading gappers. So this stock comes all the way down. We've got our resistance line in here for confirmation. It comes all the way down here. We want to see it reverse here. Experienced traders may have bought down in here if they see a nice push up out of here. But we're going to wait for this trend line to be clearly broken, and it does. It pushes up through here. I might be buying at 418. Usually I want to buy above the high of this green candle if we want to be super safe. There's also more risk to the downside if we do that, but we're going to buy in here 424, and boom, it pops up above VWAP on increased volume. See how this is another thing, the volume contracts. Whoops. The volume contracts right here. VCP right there. Completely almost fades right here and then pops back up. We get volume back in. Now, if we wanted a continued move, we want to see that volume still come up and still show that there are buyers in here. But it doesn't show that much volume, so you're going to take your profits. And look, we already have this previous high resistance in here, and it cannot break it. So you're going to sell, and you're going to wait for another pullback. And now, as we see these lines, we can now also put in, if we're still trying to trade this, even though we've already gotten 4 good trades on this thing, now we've got supports through here, kind of. This range is more of a zone than an actual, it's not going to perfectly bounce every single time, but we got a little zone here where it bounced really hard and found support. And then it got denied there again, comes back down to VWAP, reconsolidates. I'm not entering here. Maybe if you're trying to just scalp the shit out of this, keep your eyes on it. Maybe you get one down in here, but it gets pushed back down, doesn't break up here again. Moves lower, below VWAP. Now we're looking for it to push back up off of this support line. And now that we're moving through the lower trend line, this one is not as relevant anymore. Gosh, I keep using this wrong tool. Alright, so bounces off this low. Maybe we want to put something like this in here. Okay, let's see if it can move up out of here. Off that support you wanted maybe to. Oh, hold on. Maybe buy off of that low there. Tried to break out, but you gotta, once it starts going lower on volume, you kind of want to zoom out and still look left and be like, okay, this thing. That's why you want to keep the longer time frame. Why does my computer always do that shit? So you want to maybe zoom out and be like, okay, well, now it's creating lower trend. It got below the trend line, but it held higher highs. So maybe we get a push back up. Maybe you want to buy here. But now, since it's later in the day, it's like 9 a.m., it's going to get more frothy, meaning that there's going to be less volume and more choppiness. As you can see from these moves earlier, like here, this is very strong. And then still very strong. Comes back down pretty strong, kind of weaker. And as soon as you see that first sign of weakness here, you're going to want to be more cautious on the dips. If you're dip buying, you want to be more cautious through here. And but on those days where it is slower, this is all you're going to get, is this kind of frothy back and forth, not a lot of thick, clear-cut action, you know. And at this point, if you're good on the day with this one, a lot of the times, if we traded all of these pretty well, it should be sitting at like at least 6 to 12% or so, maybe even 20% on the day, and that's a good day. You'd be done trading at 9 a.m. You know. You're like, volume's kind of dying out. As you can see throughout the day down here, it just kind of goes lower and lower and lower. Comes up and actually makes a new high, but I don't know. This just made way more sense to me. This is as clear-cut as it gets. And I don't know. I think this just shows the importance of trading the leading gapper. You don't need to go and look at... You can go and look at a couple other plays if they're moving well, but I think it's really important to not overload yourself with different setups and like get to know the stock as you're trading it. Like TRCH is a leading gapper, so try your best to just trade that one throughout the day. Maybe you're watching this coming down and you can go look at other your tickers, but every time that I go and look at 10 tickers on the day or trade 10 tickers on the day, I'll have like a 2% winner here, 3% loss here, I'll have a 5% winner here. And then at the end of the day, I've done 400 executions in one day and traded like 10 tickers, and I'm up only $15 on the day, and my brain is fried because I'm so tired of looking at different charts. So just to simplify it for yourself, try to stick to leading gappers, trade only two, three, maybe one to three stocks a day. Trade your entries. This is what works for me. And stay focused and just stick to your rules throughout the day. You can read them in the morning, but it's important to refer back to them if you're losing focus or something. And but yeah, as we can see, this is a great example of an easy scalper that we could have scalped for close to 20% potentially. You grab 20 cents here, 20 cents here, 20 cents here, 10 cents here, whatever it is, that's like 60 cents off of, that's almost 60 cents per share, and you've got 5,000 shares on average or something. That's a really good day, you know? So, yeah, just do this and learn from this, and take your time and learn from it, and just everyone will get there. There's something to learn every single day, so make sure that you are learning every day and just attack it little by little.